here's our first pen of bulls to look at for our 2012 bull sale. This is the youngest pen of Red Angus fall-born bulls. We have 3 pens of these fall-born bulls to look at, and then we'll look at some 2-year-old or summer 2-year-old Red Angus bulls. The Red Angus breed has kind of been the fountainhead of our program for years. We use a lot of purebred Red Angus cattle all to produce all these good purebred bulls, plus also use the red cows to produce a lot of our hybrid lines of bulls. Our selection priorities on the red side have always been moderate birth weights. These bulls are all calved on grass, and yet you can see that these bulls are very light at birth, and yet you get them to 14 months and these bulls have got thickness over the top. They're really beef bulls. They're thick bulls. A little different this year. We've had a marvelous fall from a weather standpoint. We're shooting this in early December, a little earlier than most years, but we have virtually no snow in our part of Alberta. You'll see that even though these are our youngest pen of bulls, there are some really strong bulls in here. Most of these bulls are September and October born bulls, right near the end of our fall calving program. And yet when you turn them out next spring, they're going to be big, strong 20-month-old bulls with lots of testicle, and certainly bigger and stronger and more powerful than the yearling red bulls you'll see sold all over the country. So our red cattle have been probably one of our most successful parts of our program, sell to repeat customers year after year, and you can see why. I mean, these bulls are beef bulls. You can paint them any color. They are thick, meaty. They come to you in a very small birth weight. Most of these bulls are in the 70s and low 80s, and yet we get this kind of thickness. So that's our first pen of Red Angus fall bulls. So here's our second pen of Red Angus fall bulls. The bulls we're looking at now are bulls born in September and at the latter part of August. As I said earlier, these bulls are all grass calved. We ride those cow herds once a day only. Take the birth weights and record the calf information. Certainly much easier calving than most people do, but we run a lot of cattle here, and that's how they have to be. They have to be cattle that are kind of do-it-yourself cows and look after themselves. You can see that these bulls, as we're moving up a little in age, these bulls are incredibly thick and beefy with a tremendous amount of pay weight, and especially an awful lot of pay weight for the birth weight they are born at. We have for many years, we've said we've stared birth weight in the eye and backed it down, and we really have. We've looked and used those herd sires that are the outliers, bulls that have 80-pound sort of birth weights and yet still give us all kinds of meat and muscle and performance. So these bulls are beefy, thick customers. You can certainly see that they would sire the kind of feeder calves that will top the market. But more important than that is all the maternal traits that we've jammed into these bulls over 40 years of breeding. Our cows have flawless, ageless udders. Not uncommon for our red cows to produce at 12 and 13 years of age and still not be declining in production at all. So these Red Angus cattle are a work in progress, but they're a work in progress that have been worked at for over 40 years. We were in fact one of Canada's pioneer Red Angus breeders. As I said in the preamble at our cow sale, which we just concluded, we introduced the red influence to countless herds across the country. So we'll move these bulls around a little bit, let you have a little better look at them. We're running a few less numbers for our video this year just because we had to do it a little earlier. Not all the bulls were processed, but we are giving you a look at cross-section of all the bulls we have on offer. We'll move these bulls around. Normally we're chasing these bulls through a snowbank, but we have hardly seen any cold weather. So there's Pen 2 Red Angus fall bulls. And the next group running up our alleyway here are our last pen of Red Angus fall bulls. We're looking at bulls now that are just on the older sift on our fall-born bulls. These bulls are born predominantly in August. As I said earlier, all grass calved with minimal assistance. These bulls, you can see as we move these bulls around that even though they're not really old bulls, I mean, these bulls have the scrotal size of most 2-year-old bulls. Fertility is something that we've worked hard at over the years to incorporate into our cattle. It doesn't matter what breed or line they are. The other thing that I'm sure you can see by this point after the third pen, and we'll see it again in these 2-year-old bulls, is the amazing uniformity of these bulls. It doesn't matter whether you're looking at the first one that runs by you or the 10th one that runs by you. They look like they've all been shot from a gun. We talk about cookie cutter uniformity, and that's what we have, and that is what is important. It doesn't matter if it's you selling your feeder calves at the auction mart or you're selling crossbred commercial heifers. Uniformity is the thing that makes you the money. If they can't sort the cattle, if everyone looks like the other one, you are going to make a lot more money. So whether it's us selling bulls or you selling uniform drafts to commercial cattle, uniformity is the money-making thing, and that is exactly what we have incorporated into all our breed lines, and probably in particular into our Red Angus, because we have been doing this the longest. And we'll just move this pen of bulls out of the ring, and we will bring you in our summer 2-year-old red bulls. Okay, here's our summer 2-year-old Red Angus bulls. This is an age group of bulls we're really liking. These bulls are born in May and June, predominantly late May and June, this particular group. This group of bulls have a touch more age on them than our fall-born bulls, just a few months older. And again, you can see as they get a little bit older, a little more mass and a little more thickness there. But these bulls are exactly the same genetics, exactly the same type of bulls as we've just looked at, all home ranch produced. Certainly these are one iron cattle. The uniformity from end to end, whether you're looking at one age group or another, is all the same. The only thing different is a few months in age. So these bulls capable of lots and lots of service next summer. You can see these bulls are really, really beefy, thick, big-gutted, deep-bodied bulls. They're bulls that, you would drive a lot of miles to find pens and pens and pens of Red Angus bulls that look like this. Our Red Angus bulls are always kind of the highlight of the bull sale season. We start the sale season off in January, and these red bulls always really pace our offering. They're really sought after by our commercial customers because of the beef making qualities that they have, and also because of the tremendous convenience that they offer. These cattle are do-it-yourself cattle. They absolutely look after themselves from a management standpoint. They calve easily, they get up, they have the will to live. We've introduced the red influence into countless commercial herds. A lot of people with a lot of exotic cattle cannot believe when they get their first cross of red calves how quick they get up, how quick they nurse. And then what amazes them is when they get to the auction mart next fall, they really didn't give away a single pound to the cattle that took more management and were a bit bigger framed. These cattle are tremendously quick, and by that I mean they gain weight really, really quickly. They're very easy fleshing, big gutted cattle. You put them on feed, it's no time at all until these bulls can look like this. These bulls were on grass all summer on a rotational grazing system, and that'll conclude our look at our Red Angus bull offering as this powerful set of summer 2-year-old bulls run out of the ring. Thanks for watching this chapter of our MC Quantock Canada's Bulls video. Be sure to share it with your friends. You can call me, Mac Creech, anytime at 1-800-561-BULL, or you can email us at mcquantock@hotmail.com. Be sure to check out our website. Find us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, read our blog, and watch more of Canada's Bulls on our YouTube channel. Now let's check out another chapter.